There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes, starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Welcome to How to Survive, the show that teaches you how to survive the stuff that can kill you.
Like your own fat. Or Robert Durst. Or spontaneous combustion.
And the stuff that just makes you wish you were dead.
Like AP exams. And Ren Fair tailgating. And litter boxes.
Oh, man.
Yuck.
That's just all kind of gross.
It's all bad.
You know what's great, though?
Our theme song?
Let's play it.
Let's do it.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Hello. Waited till you were swallowing water.
Yeah, coffee. This is coffee.
Oh, coffee. Right, right.
That's water.
Okay, coffee, water. I got coffee and water, too. I was up too late last night because I went to a movie and Ding Dong drank Diet Coke. Wasn't thinking.
You have to at a movie.
Yeah, but I could have snuck in my caffeine-free Diet Coke, which I own and have done many a time, but just wasn't thinking. Like, oh, this is a 7 o'clock movie, which is really, by the time it starts, 7:30.
Looking at you.
Looking at you, kid.
Looking at you, kid. I was like trying to say,
Yeah.
look at you going to a 7 o'clock movie.
Yes,
Wild woman.
The reason why we did was because it was the new Planet of the Apes movie, and my husband is a huge Planet of the Apes fan.
Planet of the Apes, The Kingdom?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
God, could that title be longer?
It's not a good title,
You know-
but it is in, I think, concert with how the other ones were named.
Even my daughter yesterday, because we saw a poster for it, said, I think that title is too long and should be renamed Planet of the Apes Kingdom. And I said, you should work in the industry naming movie titles, except please don't work in the industry.
Yeah, except for please don't do that.
So
Anyway, so I'm going out of town for the weekend. I'm going to, once again to the Old People's Film Noir Festival in Palm Springs.
you're going to be so young.
I am young there.
Look at you. You're going to get hit on by so many seniors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get ready.
Widowers.
You're going to be lousy with Werther's on your way home.
Yes. It's going to be crinkling. Oh, it's going to be a crinkle fest in
Little
the theater.
candies in your pocket.
Yes. So he wanted to see it this weekend, which I completely understand because he's, that's his thing. Like some people have Star Wars, like Planet of the Apes is his thing. I didn't get enough sleep. I'm not tired because
You're so excited to be here.
No, yes. But I'm also anxious because this is what happened this morning. So,
oh boy, here we go.
So backstory is that we didn't know if we were doing a show today because it's okay if I say this, right?
Yes.
Because Chris's husband had COVID. He's negative, but now Benjamin has it.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for Chris to test. So it was a whole mishmash, which is why we have no guest today, because she has to do publicity and didn't want to risk it, which is completely understandable. So I was at home waiting to see if Chris tested negative again. So I brought Oliver to school, came home. As I'm about to leave, get a text. Oliver was supposed to take an AP history, U.S. history test today.
Okay.
It's a big deal, which is why we went to a movie last night.
Sure.
But no, he's been studying really hard, and he doesn't have the AP class, but because he couldn't fit in his schedule, but he signed up to take the test. So I get this text.
Wait, he's not in the class, but he's taking the test?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he get credit for it?
Well, the idea is if you get a good enough score, you submit it to colleges.
I see.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
That's why you take an AP
I
test.
see. Okay.
Is because it helps you get into college. That's
I didn't know
really
you could do that without taking the class. That's
Well,
interesting.
maybe you can't, because this is what happened.
Okay.
Shit.
So he texts me and he's like, they're not letting me take the test. I'm not on the list and I need $40. And we're like, okay. It's like a shakedown to pay off the woman so you can
Yeah.
take a test. This is the dumbest bargain ever. So then I was like, well, use your credit card. And Jimmy's on the text too. We're like both talking and we're like, well, we don't know if you can use the credit card. I'll bring you cash. So then I meet him outside of the school, by the fence. He's on one side of the fence and I'm on the other side. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, I don't know. And of course I'm just like,
And this isn't that close to your house, right? To drive all the way back?
it's 10 minutes.
Okay, so it's not too far.
It was only 10 minutes at this time.
Got it.
It
Depends.
was, it's longer.
It's
when
LA traffic.
Yes.
It's
right.
10 minutes or an hour.
Right. So I go, he's like, are you mad at me? And I'm like, I don't know who to be mad at because I don't know if you did something wrong.
Maybe I am.
Because I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what happened. And and I'm like, okay, what's this person's name? And he's like, Mom, I don't do anything. And I was like, I'm just worried you're not going to be forceful enough, because he's sort of sheepish.
Yes.
And he doesn't know how to make
Advocate
a stand
for himself.
Yeah. So I'm like, and he's not, now he can't, so then he's told he can't go back until 9:40 to see if he can take at a later date, not even today. Because it's already started, so he can't take it today. And he's already studied, so he's mad too.
Tell me you went inside and had an Olympian
So you're like,
to cock his terms of endearment.
I have to turn
I
on
wanted
my
to.
Karen.
Give my son the test.
I was so annoyed that I'm like shaking. I'm so fucking annoyed.
That's frustrating.
So then he texts back and says, now we can't go until 10:30. Anyway, so it turns out he was supposed to have a code. And I said, I told you about the code. He goes, no, it wasn't that code. Because I got an email about some code, but it was a different thing. Because he wasn't in the class, he didn't get this code.
Okay.
To double register or whatever, to confirm your registration, which to me is not his fault. That's clearly some mistake and he said he wasn't the only kid who wasn't allowed in.
Had this experience.
I don't know if those
Yeah.
other kids aren't in the class.
Okay.
Maybe they just didn't pay attention in class and didn't do that
Right.
step. So now I'm just like, if he doesn't get, he's pissed too, which I completely understand, because he's studied and he's like, now I'm going to forget it all. And I go, well, no, you're not going to forget it all, because you're going to have to keep studying. Plus he has 2 more AP tests. Okay, so the reason why he's not coming with me to Palm Springs is because he has 2 more AP tests next week he has to study for. And he has
But he loves that, doesn't he?
no, he really didn't want to go. It was because he was like, well, the movies last year were bad. And I was like, well, wasn't that kind of the fun part of it? But he's older and maybe he doesn't want to hang out with me and my gay gentleman friends. Maybe that's just not fun for him.
It's weird that is he 16 or 17 now?
16.
A 16-year-old boy doesn't want to go to Palm Springs with his mom and hang out with her gay friends. And
He's an LA lonely boy.
he is an LA lonely boy.
So anyway, he really didn't want to, but when I told him that it was mother, I was like, fine, you don't have to, but it's like the passive aggressive household. So he's like, no, Mom. If you want me to. And I'm like, Oliver, I don't. If you don't want to
Yes.
do it, I don't want you to go.
Yes.
No, I want to. It was that all weekend. And then when I realized
he wants to protect your feelings.
yes. So I know I'm going to sound like cranky old lady, and I totally am.
Let's do it.
So I saw another video of a a 4th grade girl saying, let's get ready for dinner with me. And she's putting on makeup.
Okay.
Full face. She's in 4th grade.
Yeah.
Full face, talking about a crush and how she had this boy. And she does it in that, that manner that is how people do these videos. She's just imitating older people she's seen do these videos.
Right.
So I was hanging out with this boy, and it turns out, and he's, she's doing her makeup, and he likes, just speaking way older than they.
Yeah.
And it was just like soul crushing. I don't understand why parents are letting their children do this. It's just sickening.
I hope, and I'm going to sound maybe even more cranky, that parents are going to realize that phones are a weapon that they're handing their kids.
Yeah.
That they shouldn't be allowed to have them.
Right.
Until they're in high school at least.
Yeah.
That social media should not exist for children.
I agree.
I mean, it shouldn't legally. They should just make it illegal for. They're right now. It's 13, but it's way too young. That's the worst time a kid should get on social media.
Yeah,
they're just into puberty.
Right.
They're the most vulnerable.
Wait, 13 is what? Is that some legal thing?
I think it's 13 when they can get on Instagram and Facebook and.
Oh well, I don't know what this girl. I saw
parents will start accounts for their kids much younger.
Well, maybe that's even worse but maybe that's what it was, because I don't know what it was originally posted on. I saw it on Twitter. Obviously, it wasn't originally posted.
But also,
on Twitter.
we already know how bad social media is for adults. We already know what it does.
Me, it's not just that it's social media. I mean, yes, that's why she's like this, is because of social media. But it's just like, if you're this shallow and this susceptible to what's around you, and this like about appearance and having to please other people at 9.
That's when it starts, though, Danielle. That's what happened.
I know, but
it happened
to
in
this degree.
It happened in my own house, and we're very protected. Like, our kids didn't have social media. They had iPads, but they were restricted, so they didn't have.
So you think it would happen regardless of social media?
No, I think you can't escape it because so many other kids have it. So many other kids. So unless you keep your kid on a farm, like unless you're going to move to a farm, and not because they're going to go to school. And phones are allowed in school, even though phones are phones are allowed in schools. They're not allowed to be out of their backpacks.
But they always are.
But of course they are. It's like saying, I look at and maybe Garen can attest to this. Like, I think when I was a kid, I think if they tested me, I would have had ADHD, I think. Every class that I didn't find interesting, which was probably 75% of the time, except maybe when it had to do with like English or books. I was reading whatever book, not Stephen King before 6th grade, but like, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. I was reading books behind textbooks.
Yeah.
A whole time I got away with it because they can't watch every kid.
I don't think that's ADHD, by the way.
Well, it's different in girls.
Oh, okay.
The not being able to focus and pay attention unless you're interested in things is very much an ADHD symptom of like, I can't focus on things if I find them boring.
Right. You said like,
that's very much a girl, and ADHD in girls of like, I just daydream and stare out the window all the time and think my own thoughts is very much an ADHD symptom in girls.
Okay.
It's more ADD because the hyperactivity element isn't there, but I couldn't focus because I was like, I don't care what they're talking about. I think it's so boring. I'm going to read all day long. And that's what I did through most of my academic experience.
But would you have gotten the code to sign up for the AP test?
Well, no, I wouldn't have cared. But what I'm trying to get to is...
I'm sorry. I interrupted you. That was rude.
No. Honestly, we're a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
Please make the fucking joke. So I'm trying to get to a point. I'm sorry that I'm going so off track. But the idea of like, now kids are just looking at their phones. And the teachers aren't catching it because how could they?
I don't understand why, and I'm sure maybe there's a very good reason for this. I don't understand why teachers don't collect the phones at the beginning of the school day.
Parents won't allow it because this is the reason.
Because they need to get in contact with their children.
They want to know if this is what I think it is. They're like, what if somebody comes in with a gun? I want to know. Like, they're so afraid to not be in constant contact with their kids because they're worried something's going to happen. And I'm like, is that the fucking text you want to get? I don't want that text. I don't want to text ever from my kids saying there's somebody in here with a gun.
Well, I think I'd rather know than not know. But
Well, you're going to get an alert from the school, but do you want to have that communication with your child?
I don't know.
I don't.
Look,
honestly. This is it. People always want to
Yeah,
be.
I guess you're
people
right.
have these 364. I can track my kid at all times. Isn't this good?
every day but one day. One day they just let it go.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Everybody
You
needs
said
a day off.
364.
Everyone
There's
needs a day off.
365 days in a year.
Oh, well, no, I think
Leap year, you're talking about.
I don't even know what it's called. So, but it's like this idea of like, I always know where my kid is at all times. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's a good thing.
No, I guess that's right. What are your plans for the weekend? We're recording on a Friday.
Yes.
Just that's why.
Well,
Any good
I don't
plan?
have to go to a football game tonight because Benjamin has COVID.
Right.
So no game for him.
Are you calling soccer football?
No,
or
he
he's
plays
doing football too. I
He
forgot.
also
Okay,
does
sorry.
flag football. So no sports this weekend. It's Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
Guys, so this is going to sound lame. So for Mother's Day, this is what I want to do. Yard work.
Oh God, that does sound.
But I
awful.
really want my yard to look nicer. So Saturday, I'm going to go to the green. I always want to say greenhouse, but it's not really a greenhouse. Nursery, and get some new stuff to replace some of the dead. My yard looks like, I don't know, like hillbillies live there.
You always say that. I don't think it does, but okay.
It's in bad shape. And then on Sunday for actual Mother's Day, depending on how everyone's feeling, the plan was to go for a hike because it's like my favorite thing.
Nice.
And a picnic.
Oh,
Sven was like, do you want to do a Mother's Day brunch? And I was like, I couldn't want to do something less than a Mother's Day brunch.
Yeah.
Like where it's like a restaurant where it's packed full of people and
I've
then
done
the
it.
food is like not going to be that good. Like that's not my.
I used to do it a lot when we both had mothers here.
Yes. It's just it's
It's not necessary.
It's not something I enjoy.
But I like the picnic idea.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go on a picnic, and no one in my family. Maybe I should have had a girl. I mean, no one wants to do like.
You have to say you want it.
Yeah, I know, but then it's like not fun to make people do things they don't want to do. Like I don't enjoy that. I don't.
Well, I don't mind because they end up liking it for one.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess I don't care if they're not having fun. I'm just
It's
like
your
this.
day.
I'm like, you know what? I do all kinds of stuff that you guys like. I do so many things I don't enjoy.
Yeah, I'm just not. You remember when you said I do have the I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
thing? I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't in that regard.
Yeah.
I won't enjoy myself if other people are like, not enjoying themselves.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
relax to enjoy myself.
Okay, fair enough. I accept that. What about you? What's your weekend gonna?
Well, I'm going to watch the
right.
old people films with the old people.
Yes.
And I don't know what else.
And then Sunday
Yeah.
you're gonna come back, and then
Yeah.
will you guys go out to dinner or?
I think so. Jimmy was like, "Where do you want to go?" And I'm like, "It's up to you. You're doing it."
So he'll make a reservation.
Hopefully.
Tell him he has to make a reservation because it's Mother's Day.
I think he'll know that.
Yes.
I think he'll know that, but I don't know.
You don't want to pick a place?
Nope, because I don't want to do the work. I want someone else to figure it out.
Yes, I see.
You know what I mean? I
Yes,
just want someone
yes.
else to figure it out.
Yes.
Our 20th wedding anniversary is coming up.
Oh my
so
God.
we'll pick together. And that'll be like a actual fancy
A
place.
proper fancy place.
Yeah, that'll be a proper fancy place.
Nice.
What are your plans for the weekend?
I am supposed to be going to the Ren Fair.
Oh, whoa.
Will you dress up?
I don't really have anything. I have like
You know
Harry
what?
Potter robe that I
That
could
counts?
wear. But
Can I
that
just
feels
tell you
too-
something? I mean, God bless those people who dress up. It's so hot there.
That's why.
For whatever reason, it's the hottest place on earth. I think you're gonna regret if you were wearing
Yeah,
a
I
black
don't-
cloak.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna.
That's really good
There-
advice.
My friend asked me, "How long can you be gone for?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, because of
kidnap you?
Dexter, because of dog,
Oh,
and like, because we don't want to just be there for like an hour or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, how long can you be there? You walk around a block.
oh no, you
for-
can be there all day.
Well, they like to party when they go. Like they're gonna.
They're gonna drink a
tailgate
lot of beers.
and this is before they even go in. He's like, last time we were there, we were outside for 5 hours drinking, and then we went in. I'm like, wait,
Are you sure you want to do this?
Oh, that sounds horrible.
No, I'm not. But
I'm stressed
Wait a
for
second.
you.
Are these good friends?
yes.
But I mean, do you want to be
Why
in
do
a
they-
parking lot drinking for 5 hours? This is my nightmare.
No, I don't. But I said I can't do that.
Yeah,
I
good.
Can't,
Set that
I'm not-
boundary.
even if Dexter was in 100% perfect health, I wouldn't do that because I'm not going to count on my roommate to take care of my dog for a whole day. So I'm thinking, okay, well, hour drive there, 2-3 hours there, hour
Yeah.
back. That's what
So-
I'm hoping for. We'll
So are you driving with them though? You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Whatever they decide to do.
Worst
you have
case
to do.
scenario, you could Uber back if you had to.
Oh
Yeah, I
no,
mean, I'm
that
not
would be
too-
you know where it is? It's in Irvine, right? Irvine.
Irwindale.
Irwindale. It's really far.
It's very
Is there a
far.
train option?
Maybe. I'm not that.
You're not that stressed.
I'm not that stressed about it.
We're
but-
stressed. We're very stressed.
I'm not a drinker, so
I know,
the
that's
idea
why
of just
I'm-
sitting there and just
in the
guzzling,
hot sun.
But wait, when you said no to that, what did they say?
I didn't say no. I said it can't be that long. Like we can hang out for however long, but
It doesn't
I
sound
can't
like
be
they
there
have
for
a
5
clear
hours.
plan. It sounds like he's going to be in the parking lot for 5 hours.
I think
'cause
it's-
he didn't firmly state.
I think
that
they're
that's-
going to do what they want.
Yeah.
Well, you guys will find out on Tuesday.
That's
judging
true.
by how
I've-
angry I'm probably still am.
You can't be angry if you don't say it.
I know. But
I have one word for you: sunblock.
oh yeah,
And a hat.
Sunblock.
It's in my. I keep
And
it
a
with
hat.
me in my
Take a
bag.
long sleeve shirt that is like cotton that you can cover your arms with.
Or just put sunblock.
It'll
on your
keep you
arms.
cooler.
I actually might go get stronger than what I have. I have
Oh.
30 or 50, but just to be safe.
Yeah,
I
get
might-
it. Get a 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah. It's. I don't know. Have you ever been?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So you know what you're in for.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
a lot of cleavage
Yeah.
and
Yes.
things on sticks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to
And-
take my kids.
It's fun. I just
I think
don't.
it's fun for kids.
Yeah.
it's-
It's really fun.
We
because
read-
could-
oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
I'm
I
saying
interrupted
you
you.
can do bow and arrow.
Yeah.
You can, do darts, and there's like little games, and there's stuff to look at. There's fun stuff to buy.
Yeah.
There's yummy food.
You can eat turkey on a leg,
Turkey
probably.
leg. There's definitely turkey leg. There's what's the thing I always got?
Not a turkey leg. I know that.
No, I think some sort of icy. Oh, like an Italian ice. Like served in the orange, like that kind of thing.
Oh, I want that.
Yeah, that's good.
Dang, I can't go though.
Is that authentic to the Dark Ages?
Yep. Yep. They had refrigeration. They had. Why can't you go?
Benji has COVID.
No, but I mean, I don't think it's just this weekend.
Is it going for a while?
Is this the last weekend?
I don't know.
It's usually for like a month or
I'll
so.
look it up. That seems like something the kids would
Oh,
like.
they
And
would love
There
it.
was a book we read, a graphic novel called All's Fair, spelled with Faire, in middle school, written by one of their favorite graphic novelists, authors that we read a bunch together. And it's about a girl whose parents are Ren Fair actors, and she also is a Ren Fair actor.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh, good.
And that's my only experience with Ren Fairs.
Oh,
Is
I mean, it's
what happens in that book.
It's a little bit of a culture shock. Like
Yeah.
it's you're assaulted with actors.
Yes.
With British accents, and like I said, huge boobed women with just their tits out, like in costume.
I'll wear something like that, and then
Great.
Alex can feel really uncomfortable.
Invite Alex's friend with the corset. She'll be right
Maybe
at
I
home.
can borrow her corset.
Yeah. But I think for kids, it's really fun.
Great.
It's really fun.
No, I mean,
I don't think I would enjoy it as an adult without
without
a
some
kid,
kids there.
but yeah.
Well, I'll let you know when we're going in case you want to tag along with
Oh
a
God,
couple kids.
I don't.
You don't want
that's
to bake in
okay.
the sun,
That's okay.
guys. Can we talk? I know we need to get to the.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to take a break before we get to the story anyway. So, what do you want to talk about?
I'm obsessed with the Jinx.
Oh, I have to watch
Wait,
that.
how many episodes have you watched?
I'm all caught up.
Shit, we're not. So you can't talk about episode 3 because we're not caught
I
up.
won't. I won't spoil anything because Garen hasn't seen it.
It's so good, right?
I love it so
I know,
much.
I know.
I'm
It's
like,
like-
could every sort of nonfiction true crime be this?
I know.
It's so
funny.
interesting. It's so funny.
I know.
I did not expect to laugh so much.
Right? I told you. There's like laugh out loud.
Bob!
Update: Oliver is able to take the AP test on
What?
the 22nd. Not today.
22nd. Oh, I thought you said in 20 seconds.
No,
at
no,
first.
no, no.
And I was like, that's a random
Well,
weird.
it's good that he gets to take it.
Yes.
But so that's
He has more time to study or more time to
Yeah,
forget.
but he doesn't want
what he
Yeah, I
knows.
know. It's
Wild. It's this difficult for someone to take a test.
Yeah, that's like
it's just
it's like something you don't even want to do, and he's trying so hard to do it.
you
I
know.
could never even think like, hold on, I need to go take a test for a class I'm not even in.
This is
That
what I was
is-
doing. How can I miss more school when I
Yeah.
was his age? How can I can get this down to 3 days a week that I go and still do all right.
I'm gonna work from home this week.
I remember in high school we were supposed to do the ACTs, and if everyone who was not doing the ACTs, came in like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
I ain't taking the ACTs.
Yeah.
I just came in 2 hours later.
I only took the ACTs. They didn't even offer the
thank
SATs
you.
that I know of. Not to me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I never heard of the ACTs until I was after.
They only
out of high
offer
school.
but I think I read this in a book that like you know what, it's going to be boring. I'm not going to talk
That's
about
all right.
it.
We've already talked about it anyway.
Yeah.
So, and then so you're going to the Ren Fair. You're going to be
Pulling
pulling weeds.
Yay.
And hiking.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah. And having a picnic. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Have you guys caught up on Hacks yet?
Yes.
I don't know. No, I've
Wait.
only watched the first 2 episodes.
Same.
They dropped 2 more.
On
Nice.
Sunday. I can't keep up with everything. No, I haven't.
So good.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. I'm excited.
I literally could not stop watching it.
And Guy comes back, right? He's not just in that episode. Guy
He has
Branum.
not come back yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
Oh, they were making it sound
That was
like he
so fun
gonna
to see
come back.
Guy.
Yeah.
Like that he gets to be, because he's a writer on the show and also gets to be.
Oh, is he a writer on House?
Yeah, I watched after the episode, they did a behind the scenes and they talked about how he's
Oh.
one of the writers. And so they thought it would be fun to bring him in for this, like, who knows more about Jean Smart's character.
Right.
With her manager. I
Yeah.
can't remember the actor.
Her Man Friday, whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember the
I
character's
don't know
names.
any of the characters' names now that I think of it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they'll make him like a regular cast member too.
So it sounded like they were setting him up to come back, but I haven't
It
watched
seems
the next
like
2
it. And
episodes.
I also just heard Guy on, he's a guest on Pop Culture Happy Hour a lot. This
Mm-hmm.
podcast I really like with NPR, even though they kind of love everything.
Ew.
But I started listening to the one about the Jerry Seinfeld movie, and they were definitely
bagging
it
Oh,
pretty
that's-
hard. They were like, there is nothing good about this movie. And I was like, okay, fine. I can trust you guys
Yes.
again. But he was going on to talk about Baby Reindeer.
Oh.
And so I actually stopped listening because I wanted to wait until I got more caught
Oh,
up
you
with
haven't
the show.
finished it.
I have
Okay,
not
yeah.
finished it, no.
That's funny because, okay,
I had to take a breather after the very
upsetting episode.
upsetting
Yeah.
episode.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, you can.
I
It's.
gotta watch that. I gotta watch Jinx.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time to take a break.
I know that I need to go to the bathroom.
Same.
Our listeners could probably use a bathroom break. You know what? It's fun about our listeners. They can pee the whole time.
Oh my God, they're
we
so
would never
lucky.
know. Should we take them with us to the bathroom?
Yes, here we go.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. That's what you'll feel with Boll & Branch's best-selling signature sheets in 100% organic cotton. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Start getting your best night's sleep in sheets that get softer and softer for years to come. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off with your first order at bollandbranch.com, code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
And we're back with Canva Presents Secret Sounds Work Edition. Caller, guess this sound.
It's a mouse click.
So close. That's actually publishing a website with Canva Docs. Next caller.
Definitely a mouse click.
Nice try. It was sorting 100 sticky notes with a Canva whiteboard. We also would have accepted resizing a Canva video into 10 different sizes.
What? No way.
Yes way. One click can go a long way. Love your work at canva.com.
Yeah.
I guess we're back.
Hey.
Hey, that laughter lets you know we're back. It's time to learn how to survive spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous combustion occurs. This is interesting. To me, it's interesting. When a combustible material is heated to its ignition temperature, so the temperature at which it will catch fire.
Okay.
Just like different substances have different melting points.
Yes.
They also have different degrees at which they will catch fire.
Okay.
By a chemical reaction involving the oxygen in the air, which is oxidation. The oxidation of the combustible material creates heat. Mm-hmm. If this heat cannot be dissipated, it will build up in the combustible material until ignition occurs.
That happens in the microwave. Right?
Yes, I guess so.
It's like-
well, it doesn't catch on fire.
No, but you know the idea of like when you're heating something up in the microwave and it gets too hot and then it spurts everywhere.
Oh.
You know, like, and then you're like, oh no, I got to clean up this big mess in the microwave.
Yeah, that's why you get an angry mama. Do you have one of those?
Is that a cover for things?
I don't know. No, it's not.
I thought you were talking
cover.
about yourself this morning.
That was myself this morning. It's this stupid thing. It's like this plastic thing that you put you just put water and vinegar in it.
Okay.
You put the lid on, but she's shaped, it looks like a mother.
You're blowing my mind right now.
It's like a triangle.
Yes.
I can't believe you've never seen this. Have you ever seen this?
No.
It's got like a red wig and a triangle body.
Okay.
You take it off, you put water and vinegar in it, and then you put it in the microwave for like 7 minutes, and it creates steam, and so it's just easier to clean everything up in the microwave. It's just purely for the microwave. It's made for the microwave.
It doesn't stay in there all the time to keep things from exploding. It's just a cleanup device.
Yeah, it's smart. It's just
I'm gonna get one.
Yeah,
I like that she's also like triangle shaped, like a lot of mamas.
Yeah, I'm getting more triangle shaped by the minute.
Yeah, I'm sort of smaller at the top, and then it gets bigger as you go down.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I want one. She
Isn't
looks
it
like
cute?
a toy we played with when we were kids.
Yeah, it's cute, right?
Yes. Angry face.
So
yeah, she's got an angry
cute.
face. She's got her hands on her hips.
I feel like that a lot.
I think there's a few different versions. But
They should call her like menopause mama.
Oh, there's a purple one.
Oh, I like the red one.
yeah, the red hair is the classic. Anyway, okay. Generally, the buildup of heat to ignition point occurs when the material is bunched up or in a pile, preventing the heat being generated from adequately escaping.
Okay.
There's nowhere for it to go.
Okay.
Hence, it catches on fire.
Okay.
Materials that may catch fire by spontaneous combustion are
Ready?
rags and waste with oil and paint residues,
Oh, that's not safe.
towels and linen during laundering and drying.
Oh, we just talked about this.
Yes. Paint overspray. I guess they mean spray paint.
Yeah.
Or material from a paint spray booth.
I don't want to work in one of those.
Coal.
Mining accidents.
Haystacks.
Haystacks? Huh.
Needles.
Wouldn't have thunk that.
Green waste piles and compost. I don't
like
know.
That could just
I guess
in our bin.
I guess.
Okay.
And a number of chemical substances such as cellulose nitrate.
Not people.
No. For ignition to occur, the rate of air movement must be sufficient to provide enough oxygen for the oxygen reaction, but not so fast as to stop the material heating to its ignition temperature. So the air has to be, you have to have the air to oxygenate it.
Okay.
Is that the right word?
Yes, I believe it is.
For oxidation,
Yes.
but not so much air that it'll put out the flame.
That probably it's like a really
Fine line.
like a rare set of facts have to come.
Yes, so it's not like
together.
it happens all the time, but
Yeah.
it does happen. Since the balance of oxygen flow and heat loss needs to be carefully balanced, spontaneous combustion is not common, but is still a risk that needs to be managed. Some businesses have had unsafe work practices for many years before they have a fire caused by spontaneous combustion.
They probably don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah,
or they
right?
do and they don't care.
Well, if you got a pile of oil-soaked rags in the corner,
you're asking for it.
Kind of are asking.
Hey,
for
if you're
it.
doing that right now, don't be a dick.
Yeah. The possibility of spontaneous combustion is greater if the surrounding air is warm and dry.
Okay.
This is from an Australian website, so it says, as in the Adelaide summer.
Been there.
Yeah. Preheating the material can initiate the oxidation reaction that leads to spontaneous ignition, or can hasten ignition by adding even more heat to the combustible material. The spontaneous combustion of oil-soaked rags is not as common as it used to be because of the popularity of acrylic paints that do not require the use of drying oils, such as linseed oil.
Okay.
Who knew?
So let me just back that up for 1 second. Acrylic is more combustible then?
No.
Oil is because it has the...
Yes.
Got it.
What they're saying is some paints have drying oils, I guess, so that it actually dries. And that's linseed oil, and that is combustible.
Got it.
However, the problem still occurs with oil-based paints.
Imagine you make a beautiful oil painting on your wall, and then it just bursts into flames. You'd think your house was haunted by a demon, but really you just
would 100% think
right?
your
Wouldn't
house
you?
was haunted.
Just like, look at this painting I made.
And an old priest.
Yeah, exactly. However, the problem still occurs with oil-based paints and some timber stains and polishes. Linseed oil is the most common example of a drying oil, but rapeseed, cottonseed...
Stop your mouth right now from that.
You've never heard of rapeseed?
There's a plant...
I was trying to say it really quick so I wouldn't...
Don't be appropriate. Don't be appropriate. In Germany, there's a plant just called rape, and then we'll go by the fields, and Sven will say, look, there's the flowering rape. And I'm like, it doesn't...
He really says that?
Yes.
But he's not trying to be funny.
No, it's just what it's called, but I'm like, it feels wrong.
Because in English, it is wrong.
Really not good to say that word.
No. Cottonseed, peanut corn oil, and safflower oil may also self-heat. Don't, by the way, use cottonseed oil to make your popcorn or anything. Cottonseed oil is the worst oil for you.
Is it?
It's really bad.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's in everything. It's like in every snack, cottonseed oil.
It is?
I think it's really cheap. I also think it's because it
Is it in potato chips?
Probably.
But I eat them all
you know
the
what? Most
time.
potato chips are honestly just potatoes,
Sunflower oil,
sunflower
right?
oil, and salt.
Yeah.
Like even
Not a lot of like preservatives,
no,
right?
like even Lay's. Mm-hmm. When you're saying like it doesn't seem like potato. I think it really is just three ingredients.
I think it is.
Unless it's a flavored one, and then maybe
Yes.
you do get cottonseed or something. Fish oils are notorious for their self-heating properties. Mineral oils like white spirit, mineral turpentine, or lubricating oil are not prone to self-heating and will not cause spontaneous combustion.
Oh, that's good because, those sex oils. You don't want to catch your partner on fire.
Oh my God.
Just trying to get people ready for the...
Doesn't that get your sheets all messy?
Yeah.
Like, when I see... Do people really do that? Do they rub each other with oil and then have sex? It seems so gross.
I think so.
I don't mean gross like... I'm not that...
You're
it's
talking
like
about the sheets, right?
Yes.
You're bothered by the sheets.
Also, like, how do you get friction if there's so much slipperiness? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Your bodies are oily. Let's see. It just... Ugh.
I don't like to get food juices on my fingers. I'm not going to have oils.
The oils. It's just gross.
That's why I'm put off by the whole adding food to sex.
Oh.
The whole 9.5 weeks and there's like a whole
so
food
disgusting.
sex thing. And I'm like,
So gross.
I don't want to add food for one. I don't want to that involved in my bed, but
No.
I mean, I'll eat some chips in bed while we're watching a show.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't want like chips all over my body and then
No.
sex.
This is not sexual, so please forgive my segue.
I love your
Way.
segue.
Segue way. But, I used to babysit a lot.
Okay.
That was my waitressing, I guess you could say. And I babysat these two kids. This was a one-time only. I think I was covering someone else's job,
Okay.
which happens a lot in the babysitting game. You got to have good recommendations, good referrals. Maybe you'll steal their customer out from under them if you're good.
I think there's a whole club about it.
Yeah.
There is a whole club.
This is one of the books.
Organization.
So I was babysitting these two girls in this house, and I think this was before the parents left, or no, the parents had gone, and the kids were doing this thing where they put whipped cream like on their arms or something, and then the other one had to lick it off.
Okay.
And I had to leave the room because I was going to barf. I cannot stand food being used for non-eating purposes.
Okay.
It grosses me. I know they were eating it, but it was like
Yes.
on their skin.
Yes.
I was like, this is revolting. Like, any kid I babysat
Yeah.
or my own kid never had a messy face because I always wiped their face because I was like, I cannot look.
Yeah.
I'll throw up. I cannot look
Wow.
at.
You
Yeah.
would not have been able to be in my house. I mean,
Did your kids have food on their face all the time?
Oh, I mean, just like when they were eating in their high chairs.
Well, of course, then.
It was just like such a mess.
Yes, of course, then.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I probably did wipe off Oliver as he went.
I couldn't. I mean, it was
But
just,
you had two.
it
That's
was too
different.
much. I was like, forget it. It's a lost cause.
But like showing me a picture of a kid with like, oh, look, they put their whole face in the cake.
Yeah.
No, save it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Show me when your kid is cleaned up. Bring them back.
I don't like the whole, on that note, let's smash cake into each other's faces.
Nope.
We didn't do that at our wedding, did we? You were there.
I'm assuming. I think you would have remembered if you'd done that.
You know what I remember and don't remember, it's all up in the air right now.
I don't know if I've ever actually been to a wedding where it was done. I've seen it like in movies and stuff, but we definitely did not. Like, can you imagine me and Jimmy?
No.
Like the two most.
I can't, you know what? I can't even imagine you guys comfortably being at dinner at my house. I feel like you'd have to get up in the middle of it and go, honestly, we have to go.
You mean because we're so uptight?
Well, just your level of like things needing to be clean and just so are so and to.
I don't think. Am I that way? I mean, I'm that way because of him.
I think you're that way because of him, but I mean, clearly you couldn't because of the pets, right? Like, there's no way we could ever get our house
Right.
pet free enough
No,
to like
no.
our animals like live on top of us and sleep on our faces, and like we have no boundaries about like
Oh yeah,
any of that. It's
I would too if I had animals.
you
by
know,
the way.
so it's not that. It's I just feel like it's like. Oh, the house is gonna be so like chaotic and messy and loud and smelly
No,
of food.
that doesn't bother me.
But
I'm not. The only thing that really bothers me is when a house smells like cat litter.
Our house does
and
not
yours
smell.
doesn't.
No.
I don't know how, but it doesn't at all. I would never know you have a cat.
I will tell you. Do you want to know how I do it?
Is it outside?
It's not. I wish it was, because the problem
What's
is
that little patio area?
we have no way to have a cat door so he can go in and out. Otherwise, we would do it. We've actually started thinking about putting another box outside because he goes in and out so much.
Oh, that's
and
smart.
then seeing if he'll use it.
Yeah.
And then we can transition. It's in our living room.
I've never smelled it.
And it's tucked behind a box that like a little piece of furniture that holds records. So and it's hidden, and it's also like a beautiful, expensive litter box that he climbs into the top of it.
What?
That has a hole,
Like a tissue box?
It looks like a big tissue box, because we had to get one that the dog couldn't eat, because dogs love to eat cat poop. It's disgusting, and so that keeps the smell down. And then I have an air purifier right next to it.
So smart.
And I clean it like every day.
I think it's the top thing.
Yeah.
I think it's that. That's
helps.
fantastic.
I clean it every day. And so, because I'm so like, I can't have that smell.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have a house that, I mean.
No, I honestly, I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I would never know you had a cat.
That's nice. I'm glad to hear that, because, you become kind of immune to your own.
Yes, you get.
Like, I don't know, you can't smell your own stink.
Jimmy just had a name for it, like something nose. I don't know.
But,
where you don't smell how
we
your
always are
house
like,
smells.
oh, I don't think Sally, we'll go to somebody else's house and we'll pet their dog, and then our hands smell like that dog oil smell.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we don't think Sally smells like that. But then we're like, oh, do we just think that because it's our dog?
I don't think your house smells at all. And I'm not uptight about I'm not uptight about clutter. I'm just uptight about food being places it's not supposed to be. That is what grosses me out.
So just like rubbing it on our bodies.
I would probably throw up.
we don't do that.
And yes, my husband is an uptight person, so that's his own thing. But on my own, I think I'm pretty easygoing.
I think you are. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just was imagining the two of you sitting at my table and like just this. And also our house, because it's all open, we can't keep the smell of food. Like if we cook fish, the whole entire house smells.
Yeah,
because our kitchen is like,
Jimmy couldn't take that.
it's open.
Yeah. That's true.
And so anything we cook, it's like, well, now the whole house smells like that. You can't stop it.
Would you ever consider? I don't know why I'm telling you this, because I love your
Please.
house.
Tell me.
But you like to cook, and your son likes to cook.
We do.
Would you ever consider making the dining room part of your kitchen and expanding the kitchen? Because it's a small kitchen for the house.
It is really
They
small.
have a really lovely house. Like, wait, you've not been there, right? No. It's really lovely. It's wonderful. But then the kitchen, which is adorable, is very tiny.
It's small because it's a 50s house. So, right, it's like they didn't make kitchens very big back then. I mean, what I would love is that if that wall was lower so you could see.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think, for one, Sven would ever let us change the integrity of the original mid-century design of the house, because architecturally it changes.
I don't know that you'd have to change. Well, I don't know that you'd have to change it. You just have to decide this is part of the kitchen now and put the refrigerator on the. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going way off script. Okay,
It's a good idea.
all right. I don't know how any of this started. Oh yeah, I'm a terrible guest. That's how it started.
I don't think that was said, was it? I don't think that was said ever at all. I've always enjoyed you at my house.
It is simple to prevent spontaneous combustion since oxygen is needed for it to occur. Materials subject to spontaneous combustion should be stored in sealed metal containers, such as a safety can or rubbish bin. I wonder if Sven does this at work, because I'm sure he deals with oils and rags.
All of I'm worrying right now
Yeah.
about his workshop and our garage. I feel like both of those might spontaneously combust.
Okay, well, all you have to do is put it in a bin. The container will contain oxygen at first.
Okay.
But the oxidation process will soon use this up, and the process will stop.
So the metal thing won't explode.
Right. Well, because it won't catch fire. Because
Got
you're
it.
taking the air out. I mean,
Okay.
there's a limited amount of air there, but I guess they're saying that will be used up.
Okay.
Rags impregnated with linseed or other drying material should either be immersed in water and spread out flat in a safe place to dry immediately after use. If it is necessary to transport oil or paint-soaked rags, they should be sealed in metal containers.
Okay.
Fires in commercial laundry facilities, and sometimes also in hospitals and laundromats, have been attributed to the spontaneous ignition of cotton or linen that has been dried and then either stacked while still hot or dumped into bins without cooling.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If the materials are stacked or binned at high enough temperatures above 90 degrees Celsius, whatever that means, the heat accumulated in the center of the pile may be enough to trigger spontaneous combustion of the cotton materials. Materials must always be put through a cooling cycle in the dryer or spread in single layers to cool completely before folding or stacking.
I'm going to just throw it all in the landfill.
There you go. It must happen there, right? Because
I think there have to be fires at landfills.
if towels and linen that contain oil, such as cooking oils or the oils from physiotherapy or massage clinics, are sent for laundering, a residue of oil may remain after the laundering process.
Oh.
The heating and drying after laundering may cause this residue to self-heat and spontaneously combust.
They must have to do special procedures at like massage places.
Yeah. Reduce the risk by laundering with plenty of detergent and using a hot water temperature for the wash. Hot to get out the oil.
Yes.
Once again, the linen must be put through a cooling cycle in the dryer or spread in single layers to cool completely before folding or stacking.
So yeah, Garen, you don't know this because you've never went and had a massage, but they, they'll put some oil on you. Some people use more than others. You can say like, I don't like a lot of oil or whatever, but then they'll, at my place, they'll take then a nice hot towel to wipe the oil off you. And that also feels good.
Yes. I like the oil in that situation.
Yes.
I just don't want to have oil and then, I mean, I've never tried it. I don't think I've ever had oil with sex. I just seems gross.
Guess what? Happy Mother's Day.
You're right.
This weekend.
Me and my gay friends. And
I was thinking more Sunday night when you got back. Maybe Jimmy could surprise you. It's too bad he can't hear this before Mother's Day. I'll text him.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so now I know what you're really wondering about, which is human spontaneous combustion.
I'm only wondering.
Or actually spontaneous human combustion.
Yes,
or
please.
SHC.
Ooh, it has a no. What's
acronym?
It? Thank you. I was going to say an anagram, but that's not right.
No. An extensive 2-year research project involving 30 historical cases of alleged SHC was conducted in 1984 by science investigator Joe Nickell and forensic analyst John F. Fisher. Their lengthy 2-part report was published in the Journal of the International Association of Arson Investigators, as well as part of a book. Nickell has written frequently on the subject, appeared on television documentaries, conducted additional research, and lectured at New York State Academy of Fire Science. That's so specific. At Montour Falls, New York, as a guest instructor. Nickell and Fisher's investigation, which looked at cases in the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries, showed that the burned cadavers were close to plausible sources for the ignition. The bodies that were thought to have spontaneously combusted, a la your Spinal Tap, right? Isn't that a thing that the drummer keeps spontaneously combusting?
I don't remember.
I've never seen
I'm
it.
pretty sure.
You've
never seen
I've never seen it.
Spinal Tap?
No.
Well, you have an assignment. You have to watch Spinal Tap.
After you eat your turkey leg and...
yeah, you're going to need to come home and just chill out and watch a movie.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch
Spinal
That's
Tap.
crazy to me.
It's crazy to me because I've thought I've had this thought in my mind like you've never seen this movie. Why have you never not watched this movie? You like all this guy's other movies.
I think it would hold up to the hype.
That's what I'm kind of worried.
I want to
about,
watch
too.
it with the kids.
I think it definitely holds up.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
And they're making like a sequel, which is... but
don't do that, guys.
Okay. Anyway, Okay, so it turns out these were close to plausible sources for the ignition: candles, lamps, fireplaces, and so on. Such sources were often omitted from published accounts of these incidents, presumably to deepen the aura of mystery surrounding an apparently spontaneous death.
Okay.
The investigations also found that there was a correlation between alleged SHC deaths and the victim's intoxication or other forms of incapacitation, which could conceivably have caused them to be careless and unable to respond properly to an accident.
Oh.
In other words, it's just a little fire. You should be able to put it out, but you're 4 sheets to the wind. 3 sheets? 3 sheets. 4 sheets is really bad.
That's way more severe.
4 sheets is you're combusting. Where the destruction of the body was not particularly extensive, a primary source of combustible fuel could possibly have been the victim's clothing or a covering such as a blanket or comforter. However, where the destruction was extensive, additional fuel sources were involved, such as chair stuffing, floor coverings, the floor itself, and the like. The investigators described how such materials helped to retain melted fat, which caused more of the body to be burned and destroyed.
It's like you're a candle.
That's interesting you say that because it's called the wick effect.
Oh, God.
Or the candle effect. I'm going to tell you more about it.
Oh, God.
Here we go. The wick effect theory says a person is kept aflame through their own fats after being ignited, accidentally or otherwise. The clothed human body acts like an inside-out candle.
Oh, my God. Danielle.
With the fuel source, human fat, inside, and the wick, the clothing of the victim, outside.
Are they already dead, we presume?
Well, this is how they're dying.
Oh, God.
Hence, there is I guess it could also happen the other way, but I think this is how you're dying. Hence, there is a continuous supply of fuel in the form of melting fat seeping into the victim's clothing.
I mean, that's one good reason you're not eating the potato chips.
Yes.
You're not going to burn I'm going to be that candle aflame with all the melting fats.
They're going to put me in front of some eternal flame sculpture.
That's what that Bengals song is about.
That's right. Fat contains a large amount of energy due to the presence of long hydrocarbon chains. It was thought that this was human spontaneous combustion in quote-unquote supernatural phenomenon. According to Nickel and Fisher's investigation, nearby objects often remain undamaged because fire tends to burn upward,
Okay.
but burns laterally with some difficulty. The fires in question are relatively small, achieving considerable destruction by the wick effect, and relatively nearby objects may not be close enough to catch fire themselves, much as one can get can closely approach a modest campfire without getting burned.
Okay.
As with other mysteries, Nickel and Fisher cautioned against simple, simplistic explanation for all unusual burning deaths, but rather urged investigating on an individual basis. Neurologist Stephen Novella said that skepticism about spontaneous human combustion is now bleeding over into being popular skepticism about spontaneous combustion. But spontaneous combustion is real, but just not for humans. Are you ready for a story?
Yes.
We know it's not true, but here's a fun story anyway.
I love it.
Before sinking into the overstuffed easy chair in the middle of her St. Petersburg apartment, a widow named Mary Hardy Reeser slipped into a nightgown and popped 2 sleeping pills.
Sounds good to me.
Hot summer air drifted through the open windows. It was around 9 p.m. on July 1st, 1951. Reeser's only son, Dr. Richard Reeser Jr., had just kissed her goodbye after a visit. She was alone for the night and decided to enjoy a cigarette before bed.
Oh my God, I love her life.
This was the 50s. Doesn't this sound great?
Oh my God, yeah, you can
couple
smoke,
sleeping pills.
take your sleeping pills.
Just live by yourself.
Some ways, I would go back in time.
Yeah.
For this.
Richard Reeser, 67, would not be seen alive again.
Oh, never mind.
When the landlady... check out this name. When the landlady, Pansy Carpenter...
What?
Tried to deliver a telegram the next morning.
Yep.
This was 1951. The door to Reeser's small apartment on 1200 Cherry Street Northeast was warm and the handle too hot to touch. Mm-mm. Inside the charred walls, embers still crackled. Firefighters burst into a soot and smoke-filled apartment. Reeser was gone.
What?
Only a pile of black ashes remained.
Whoa.
Amid the rubble, police found coil springs from the chair and part of Reeser's backbone.
Oh, God.
Her left foot sat in the pile, still wearing a black silk slipper.
How is that possible?
She had a very skinny foot. Just her left foot was very skinny.
No fat in that foot.
Her skull, reports say, had shrunken to the size of a cup.
Oh, my God.
Firefighters found evidence of extreme heat. Bare candle wicks towered above puddles of melted wax. So I think what happened was the fire rose, found the candles, and then burned those candles.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So the fire caused the candles, not the other way around.
Got it.
Smudges of smoke had stained the tops of the walls.
Okay.
Warped electric switches lined the room. Lower down, the walls were clean and the electric switches looked normal. Reeser's newspaper sat untouched.
What?
The sheets on her bed were still white. Reeser's story is perhaps the strangest unsolved mystery in Tampa Bay history. Probably not in Tampa Bay.
I'm like, wait.
A lot of strangers.
I think there's a lot of dudes going into 7-Elevens with crocodiles.
Yep.
There's a lot of weird
Don't
stuff.
be trolling any of those rivers.
The case has been documented in magazine articles, documentaries, and books, but questions remain. How could a woman go up in flames while the rest of the room burning? What could have killed Mary Reeser? Mary Reeser and her husband, Dr. Richard Reeser Sr., hailed from Columbia, Pennsylvania. A few years after her husband died, she moved to St. Petersburg to be near her son and granddaughters. Reeser loved her family and needed a point in entertaining, but Florida was too hot for her liking. Irony. And she missed her friends back in Pennsylvania. Her son could tell she was upset about it on the last day she saw her. She had been too worried about taking a trip back home to eat supper. I don't know why she's worried about the trip if that's where she wants to go, but anyway. The pills she took before he left were the only thing in her system. No one quite knew what to make of the case, but there were plenty of ideas. Maybe the blaze was an accident. Maybe it was a lightning strike. Maybe one Times reader proposed in 1951, Reader died from spontaneous human combustion. The last theory was the one that spread the furthest. Soon the Cinder Woman mystery of St. Petersburg made national headlines. St. Petersburg Police Chief J.R. Reichart received hundreds of theories from amateur detectives. Some claimed they smelled a strange odor outside of Reeser's home. Theorists blamed everything from the fabric of the chair cushion to napalm, phosphorus, and thermite bombs.
Well, yeah, wouldn't there be a strange odor if a human being is burning inside?
I know. Maybe they're saying
Yeah.
beforehand.
Okay.
I don't know. A ball of fire came through the open window and hit her, read one letter. I seen it happen.
He's seen it.
He's seen it.
Seen it.
A ball of fire. There was no,
A comet
it
from the
great?
sky.
there was no clear answer. What'd you say?
Was it great?
It was a great ball of fire. It was fucking its 13-year-old cousin, too. There was no clear answer, so Reichart drafted a letter to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Dear Mr. Hoover, he wrote, the fire is too puzzling for the small town force to handle. Can you imagine that? They just don't know, so they wrote to the FBI. Police sent boxes of evidence to the FBI laboratory in D.C., including portions of the apartment rug, smoke samples, rubble from the walls, and floor and segments of the chair. FBI agents spent 3 weeks examining Reeser's mysterious disappearance. Finally, on August 8th, Reichart released a statement to the media calling it the most unusual case I've seen during my almost 25 years of police work in the city of St. Petersburg. FBI agents found no evidence that suggested lightning had struck Reeser or the building. All of the fuses in the apartment were still intact, and investigators hadn't been able to detect substances that could have started the blaze. Common combustible fluids and accelerants such as alcohol, gasoline, etc. would probably be consumed in such a fire, and no trace of them detected afterwards. So if those things were around, you wouldn't know because they would be gone up with the fire.
Okay.
As for spontaneous combustion, the investigation ruled that out as well. It's possible that Reeser, drowsy from the sleeping pills she took, dozed off in her chair while smoking her evening cigarette.
Yeah, I was thinking of that cigarette all the time.
Yeah. The nightgown she was wearing at the time of her death was made of rayon acetate.
So flammable.
This is 1951, and could have caught fire from a cigarette ash. Reeser had weighed about 170 pounds. Human fat could have fed a fire that smoldered throughout the evening, allowing hot air and smoke to rise to the top of the room. Mary was a great smoker.
Oh, I bet she was good at it.
Best.
Ernestine Reeser, Mary Reeser's daughter-in-law, told the St. Petersburg Times in 1991. The cigarette dropped to her lap. Her fat was the fuel that kept her burning. The floor was cement and the chair was by itself. There was nothing around her to burn.
Imagine, though, a cigarette catching your nightgown on fire.
Yeah.
It starts burning your skin and you're not waking up.
Because you've had 2 sleeping pills
Yeah.
and no food.
I think I'm hoping, here's my wish, that maybe those sleeping pills caused her to have like a heart attack or something.
Oh,
and stopped her
before
heart.
she-
So that
yeah.
because the idea that like she's been zonked out to the point that she's literally burning to death, that she's not going to wake up seems so.
Or maybe she woke up and,
it was too late.
yeah, I don't know.
Was she drinking too?
Didn't say she was drinking. But I think who knows what
They
they put
could,
those sleeping
and maybe
pills back then.
how could they find out? Like,
there was probably opium in them or something.
if there wasn't like a bottle and a drink sitting there,
Yeah.
they couldn't have tested her system for alcohol. Like if she went over to the kitchen and poured herself a drink of whiskey,
Yeah.
drank it, put the bottle away. I don't know if they
Right.
and she washed the glass.
Well, it did say that the only thing in her system was sleeping pills, but how would they know that?
How do they know if there's
Maybe they're
if
saying
her foot? They could get that from her foot.
maybe, or maybe they're just saying the son witnessed that she didn't eat dinner and witnessed that she took
Yeah.
the sleeping pills. Investigators decided the kind of accidental death was the most plausible theory, but Wilton M. Krogman, an anthropologist from the University of Pennsylvania, disagreed. Instead of shrinking, Reese's skull should have exploded, he said. I cannot... Then there was the cremation of the body, which would have required several thousand degrees over the course of several hours. I cannot conceive of such complete cremation without more burning in the apartment, Krogman said. It's now been nearly 70 years since Reese's mysterious death. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened. We may never have answers. After the FBI... Because they're saying, like, even in a fire, when someone dies in a fire, there's still a body usually. Doesn't get so hot that it burns to
all the
ashes.
bones.
Yeah. After the FBI investigation trailed off, a portion of Reese's ashes were buried next to her husband in Pennsylvania. The rest stayed with her offspring in St. Petersburg, where it was too hot.
Yes. She's so mad about that.
Reese's family once told the St. Petersburg Times they used to feel her presence, at least up until they got rid of her old furniture. That's Grandma again, they used to say when a breeze rolled by. Don't worry, she's nice.
Wow.
Nice and dead.
Yeah.
Toasty.
Maybe it was that Great Ball of Fire.
Maybe. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's so wild.
It's so weird.
I mean, remember when we were kids and like every pajama was made out of that terrible material, and every Halloween costume, like everything was made out of... Every pajama was made out of the polyester,
whatever that was,
weird,
acetate.
not feeling good material.
Yeah.
And every Halloween costume was that. I mean, if you didn't get a homemade costume, like my mom made those when I was really little, but then like when you got old enough to pick out your costumes, it was like plastic, hot, itchy with the plastic, terrible mask with the string on the back, and it all will combust.
Yeah, I remember at some point nightgowns saying...
They'd all say that.
Well, I think they eventually said non-flammable, because, or maybe I'm thinking of the tags that said flammable. It's like when you said that about the nightgown.
Yeah,
I remembered a nightgown I had that was so. I'm actually surprised my mother would let me have it because the material was so gross.
They all felt terrible.
It was like felt.
Yeah,
kind of like thin felt. Like
they just feel awful against your skin.
Yeah,
and it's like, I guess because it was all cheap. And
but why pajamas and not? And then I think it became illegal to make pajamas out of whatever that
is. It? I don't even know. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Now there's always the note that you're supposed to wear them fitted.
You're supposed to wear a nightgown fitted?
On kids with pajamas, the idea is like, it's safer for them to be fitted.
Because they could strangle you or something?
I don't even know. I thought it was because like if there's a fire, it's better that they're fit. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Oh, gross.
My kids don't even want to wear pajamas anymore, so.
Are they naked?
You know,
I wouldn't be surprised.
We're a naked family. No, like Benji just sleeps in his underwear and a t-shirt, and Alex will sleep in like the same.
I really miss the days of pajamas when Oliver had pajamas.
They're so cute.
So cute.
I know.
He had these really good ones. My mom splurged and got him these do you know Pottery Barn Kids?
Yeah.
They had these really nice flannel Star Wars pajamas that were button up, like a proper pajama set.
Yes.
Oh, so cute. And then he also had them in Spider-Man and, of course, Batman. They were very cool.
Yeah.
And then just the other ones and then he would mix them up, be like Iron Man on the bottom and,
that crazy kid.
Buzz Lightyear on top. He was so crazy.
He was living on the wild side.
But I do miss the jammies.
Yeah.
I miss the jammies.
Jammies go away.
Yeah.
And then they come back.
Yes.
And then they come back. Maybe when he's older. I could see him wearing a full button-down suit to bed.
With a tie.
Yeah.
A cravat.
Unless we spontaneously burst into flames, we will be right back with What Did We Learn Today?
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
This episode is sponsored by AutoTrader. There's a good chance you're driving right now. Look around. Safely. What do you see? Cars. Lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends. Did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan, leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped, self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars, used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it, AutoTrader. Find your next car on autotrader.com.
Danielle,
Kristine.
are you ready to learn what we learned today?
I so am.
The new series of Planet of the Apes goes Rise of, Dawn of, War for, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Wait a second. What was the third one?
Let's
War.
see. Rise of, Dawn of, War for.
War for the Planet of the... Wait a second. There were 3 before this?
Looks like you've got some watching to do.
I know I saw the first one and I know I saw the third one, but now I don't know if I saw... Craigie. I didn't realize there were so many. Okay.
With high-profile uses in foods that are better for the mood than the waistline, it may surprise some that in recent years, limited research has suggested cottonseed oil may impact human cholesterol levels more favorably than olive oil, which public opinion has long viewed as the premium choice for healthy cooking.
Wait, they're saying cottonseed oil is better for you than
Yeah.
olive oil?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
What? Okay. I got to relearn that now.
Well, that's new. It's new research, apparently.
Jeez Louise.
In a new summer forecast map released Thursday by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, nearly the entire nation is enshrouded in red or orange, meaning warmer than average temperatures are expected for June, July, and August. Noah, that guy, said areas where the unusual heat is most likely include the Northeast and a large swath of the West. So make sure you're properly storing any potentially combustible materials.
Good idea.
And
yes.
have sunblock and hopefully air
Right.
conditioning.
It's just getting hotter.
And don't be poor
Yes.
if you can help it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be really terrible for you. Just more good news keeps coming.
Yeah. All right. So
What else?
I guess...
Are we done?
I'm off to go watch old movies.
Please. You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. Because we didn't have a guest today.
Yeah.
We're not going to take a picture. So
Right.
everyone's going to take a picture from their weekend. Gare and I want a picture from the Ren
okay.
Fair. Danielle, I want a
Yes.
picture from Palm Springs. I will take a picture from our hike or from yard work.
Perfect.
So we all have pictures for the gram
Great.
and
Well,
newsletter, so we can share those.
done. Sounds good.
All right. And
Until next time,
remain calm.